I will say this though, if Jawan Jennings wasn't out for those couple weeks, he might be right there with Jaden Reed or past him. But I got to go with what he's been doing. But Jawan Jennings is right there. He's like right there.
All right, well then I'll put him right there. Juwan Jennings is my dog. So, bro, if you ask what's up, guys? This is the Can't Lose Show. I'm your host, Trent, and we're going to be joined by two special guests today. Familiar faces. Can't wait to have them on. We're talking ball. We have a game against the Green Bay Packers, so hint, hint at who's coming on, guys. So let me get them into the show, and we'll get things started. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Faithful, even after our loss. Devastating loss. We'll touch on that as well. Let's get them in here. What's up, guys? Like I promised, here are the guests. I have Jace on your top left from Up Your Score podcast, and I have Josh on your top right. Josh, welcome back. The fans have
Thank
been
you.
wanting you, so thank you for coming on.
They've been asking about me?
Yeah, all two of them.
Oh yeah.
Glad to have you guys both back on. Um, like I said in the pre-show or the startup of the show, we are playing the Green Bay Packers. So what better week to have Jace on than this? Thank you, Jace, for joining us.
Oh, of course, of course.
Josh, you excited to be back?
Yeah, it's a great week to be back. I've only been back for Rams week, and I forgot who was on, but I know someone else was on there, right?
Justin and Dylan.
That's right. And then I'm back for this week because it's another big week.
He just likes to talk shit, guys. Josh is
Been
just a
turning
shit
me into a
talker.
Packers hater right here.
All right. Before we get into our current week and this big time matchup with huge playoff implications on the line, we got to revisit what happened last week. For us, 49er fans, it was a heartbreaker at the end. For Jace and the Green Bay Packers, it was we won type deal. So, Jace, let's talk about your game first. Give me the
Oh my
rundown. How did you feel
gosh.
about this game?
Dude, so Bears obviously fired their OC. They've lost three straight. They just lost to the Patriots 19-3. So they're playing their worst football of the year, right? And um, going into this game, the spread I think was 6. I was feeling confident. I thought the spread should have been way higher. I thought we were going to win by 10 plus. I know, and I heard your show last week. You thought the same exact thing. And it was just very scary from the start. We dominated the opening drive. We scored in under 4 minutes, scored quick and easy, drove on them easy. And then I'm like, all right, this is how it should be. They go down and get a field goal. It's whatever, 7-3 through one quarter. And then the Bears, dude, they just kept extending the drive. And I'm going to read some quick stats here. They pretty much led in every stat. They had 23 first downs to our 19. They were 9 for 16 on third down. We were 1 for 5. They were 3 for 3 on fourth down. We were 0 for 1. Total yards, they had 391. We had 366. And pretty much they led in every stat. The only stat we were better at was sacks and time of possession. We only had the ball, guys, for 23 minutes. They had it for 37 pretty much.
Damn.
We barely had the ball for a
Lopsided.
third of the game. And so it wasn't that we weren't putting drives up because we had 3 touchdowns. We had 20 points. We tried to go for 2, didn't get it. But, I mean, they were just continuing to put up long drives. They had a couple touchdowns, a couple good runs from Swift. So, but at the end of the day, Williams played a lot better. It was the fastest, I believe, all season that they were getting the ball out of his hands. Jordan Love was efficient when we actually had the ball. Josh Jacobs was running good. So, I mean, it was just a scare. It was scary. But, the previous week, we see the Chiefs win on a blocked field goal at home against Denver. So I was like just praying. I'm like, please block it, shank it. I was talking so much crap to a lot of my friends that are Bears fans. I'm like, guys, it's about to be 11 straight. And luckily we did make that happen. It's also now the longest streak against a single team in NFL history. No team has ever beat a team 11 straight times. So that's kind of nice to own that little record, especially to our rivals. So, but it was scary, but glad we got it done.
Yeah, I mean, being an outside, not a fan of either team. This game, honestly, when I was texting you during the game a little bit, saying that the Bears are just controlling the ball. It really drains an offense, and you can't get anything going. And when you get back out there, there's no rhythm. And for the Packers to just slide out of this one and escape with the W by a point, by a fingertip, really, we could say.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what playoff caliber teams do. They win, especially these rivalry games. And that's exactly what the 49ers didn't do. So, Josh, give me your take on this 49ers game.
I don't know. I hate to be that guy, but our D line minus Nick Bosa is just it's pretty horrible. Looked like a different
Hmm.
game out there. Like once he went down, it felt different. It felt like it was still close, and we weren't totally dominating that game when Bosa was in. But the pressure on Gino was crazy all game until Bosa went out, and then oh, I don't know what happened. I saw the stat just today that every game we've lost, we've led in the fourth quarter. And
Yeah.
so it's rough. I don't know what keeps happening, but our D line is looking rough and we need some guys to get healthy.
Honestly, I couldn't agree more with that. When you're talking about our D line, right, looking terrible without Nick Bosa, I said on the podcast last week that the Seahawks have the 29th best offensive line, ranked by multiple people. So, what does that say about our defense line without Nick Bosa? We have to be one of the worst without him if we're doing that against the 29th worst offensive line in football. I I was very frustrated with this game because even quarters 1 through 3 with Nick Bosa or 1, 2.5, whatever you want to say, um, we just we let them stick around. I said in
Yeah.
the podcast last week, our second down play calling is horrendous. I love Kyle Shanahan. Don't get me wrong, he's an offensive guru, but for some reason, I cannot stand our play calling on second down right now. We're we're we go in first down, we get a couple yards. It's 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6, and then for some reason this year on second down, it is either for no gain or for -2, -5, penalty, -10 yards, and we cannot win football games in a sense of going like that. And that's exactly what happened here. Penalty shot us in the foot. Second down play calling is horrendous. Even our third down play calling is mm, I just don't know. It's not the Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers offense we've been used to and accustomed to the past couple years. So that was it just put more fuel to the fire in my point for that. Also,
Yeah. I
go ahead.
I gotta say, I want to ask you guys honestly, because how do you guys feel about Shanahan, right away just going full go with McCaffrey? Like, especially when I feel like I know he's gotten his 100 yards both games, right? Okay, people are gonna say that, but he hasn't been running the ball like that well. Why not give the other guys some chance? Because I feel like our run game, although we weren't scoring a lot in the red zone, but our run game was getting down the field. Jordan Mason was running well. Garendo, even when Mason went down, was running well. What do you guys think? Like, you think it's weird that he's not like? I think Garendo had one carry and Mason had two carries against the Seahawks.
Go ahead, Jace.
Yeah, I'll go first. Here's what I'll say about that is they said in the offseason that they were going to limit his workload regardless coming into this season. And we haven't seen that through the first two games.
Kyle
And if we're not
Shanahan's making
seeing
up for
that,
missed time.
and if we're not seeing that through the first two games, that is scary because of
Yeah,
that injury history. And so, especially with Mason and Garendo that you just said, like both of those guys were dominating. Like they were like your guys' run game statistically didn't miss a beat
yeah,
except for the red zone. So it's like, why not use them on the early downs and bring CMC in for a lot of the third downs where you can use them as a receiving back? And then obviously when you get to the red zone, that's when you want to use them a lot. But I agree with you. Use some of the other guys on first down, second down, just so he's not getting the full 20 carries. That let him get 12 to 15 carries. Let him, get his catches, get his red zone touches. But I agree with that. It definitely, coming back from injury, as you mentioned, and just putting him in the fire right away. It's obviously not good for a body when you haven't been in that shape, through half the season. So, I mean, so far for you guys, luckily he's been fine and he's not hurt or anything. But I mean, it's definitely not smart.
Yeah. And I was so excited, like with all the Sonic and Knuckles talk with Gibbs and Montgomery. I'm like, dude, like we have a real duo. Like, and then Garendo go in there too. Like he could do it too. Like I was like, we really might have like a dominant backfield. And then they just, I don't know, right away, like they don't get used anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah. I honestly I see it in CMC that when he gets pulled out, he's very frustrated. So he's a
Yeah, I see
workhorse
that
and
too.
he's probably
Yeah.
asking for it. So I see that point, that side of the thing. But what's the famous saying? Don't fix something that's not broken. Our
Mhm.
run game wasn't broken, and I
Mhm.
understand you're adding a elite piece, but like you said, mix him in, get him going, but not full throttle. 25 plus carries a game, 98% of the snaps. And if you want to mix in the other guys and you don't know how, let's put CMC out wide. Let's run two backs in the backfield. Juice check is that normal second guy. Kyle Shannon's very creative. He could put CMC out in the slot. He's a good receiver in a sense. And then Mason and Garendo in the backfield, or like I said, two of them in the backfield. I'm cool with that. If CMC doesn't want to come off the field, but we don't need to be feeding him every play or every other play like we have been. I I agree with you, Josh, that we need to get them in more. And Jace.
Mhm.
Um, I know we spilled a little bit there talking about the 49ers game. Very emotional, very passionate. But let's
It's
get
two against
into
one.
what we're all here for. Green Bay hosting the 49ers in Lambeau Field. Not quite winter yet, but it's going to be a little chilly. So it always affects the offenses that way if it's a little colder. Maybe a little bit of precipitation. I don't know how to say that. Um, but what's your guys' thoughts here? I know we have something a little planned out. We're going to be talking about who has the better what. So the first one on the list is who has the better offensive coordinator. Both our coaches are offensive gurus. So who has off better offense coordinator this season? We're not talking all time. We're just talking this season. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say neither because let's be real, the OCs don't. It's really LaFleur versus Shanahan, and it's Shanahan. I'll admit that. Even even this season, I will still say Shanahan's obviously a better play caller than LaFleur. Is LaFleur one of the best? Yes, but he's not an Andy Reid. He's not a Kyle Shanahan. So I mean, I think those two guys separate a lot from all the other good play callers in the league. But it's always Andy Reid. It's always Shanahan. Then it's like 100 feet of crap, and then it's the rest of the guys. So but yeah, it's Shanahan. It's a no-brainer for me.
Josh.
I'm gonna have to agree with Chase on that one.
I
Come
mean,
on.
you're not gonna not agree with
So
that.
I want to keep it fair and honest. I actually have Matt LaFleur in this
I had a
season.
feeling you did the way you like brought it up. I was like, he picked LaFleur, huh?
I did. Why? Because I think I said it enough in last week's episode and this week's episode now. I cannot stand our second and third down
Yeah.
play calling. And you're not going to win a football game like that. And I've played peekaboo with the Packers games here and there every week. And I like what he's dialing up. So therefore, I'm going Matt LaFleur in this year right now. Watch, it could change this weekend. Kyle Shanahan could be in his bag and we could win whatever the outrageous score I want to throw out there to whatever. But I got Matt LaFleur in this season. Defense coordinator. I could tell you right now, mine is not coming from the 49ers because Nick Sorensen, bye. So I have Jeff Halfley in this one. Jace, you could give me more details on him, but I just wasn't going to pick Nick Sorensen.
Yeah, no, I'm going Jeff Halfley. We've obviously have been the better overall defense this season. We're still not at the level that we need to be at if we want to make a run. We started out hot, and then it's like every other week we're inconsistent. The Lions game, for example, terrible first half, and then we totally shut them down the second half. But obviously, we were well behind at halftime, so we weren't coming back. The Bears game last week, terrible in the second half, really good in the first half. Jaguars game. So there's a lot of games where we're good in one half, and then we just don't capitalize. And usually we're better in the second half. I believe we had a record where I think it was until like week 8, but since week 2, so those 6 games in between those games, we didn't allow a single touchdown in the second half. So we're obviously a better second half team, I think, overall on both the ball. I feel like a lot of games we've been either only up by a field goal at half or we've been trailing at half, but we're a full second half team. So I loved hearing that stat that all your guys' losses have been coming when you guys have a lead in the fourth. So we're just gonna have to just give you guys like a field goal lead in the fourth, and then hopefully just take care of business from there and
Sure, you
just
could give
shoot.
us a 10-point lead in the fourth and still probably come back.
But yeah, I love Jeff Halfley. I love his scheme. And obviously McKinney has been a dog and he's been excelling in that scheme. So yeah, I love Halfley. I liked him at Boston College and I was super glad we got him. We were actually trying to get him a couple of years ago, but he ended up saying no. So we get Joe Barry. We all know how that worked out. We fire him and now Halfley's here. So I'm happy, and he keeps this up somewhere down the line. I could definitely see him being a future head coach.
Okay. Josh.
I'm agreeing with both of you guys. Yeah, I mean, for all the same reasons. I don't really like what's going on with the Niners, and I mean, the Packers defense looks good.
Okay, that's fair. The next one on the list we're skipping for now. We'll save that for the last one because that one is
Oh
the
God.
um you know
Oh, I
best
know.
running back this season right now. I'm gonna start it off with CMC is my pick. But will I say Josh Jacobs is playing great right now? Yes. I love honestly the way he runs the ball. I wish other running backs ran the ball like him in the league. Um, he's a force to be reckoned with. But we all know CMC's literally just getting ramped up, and this could be his breakout game. And it's hey, CMC's is one of the best in the league, type deal after this game. So I'm gonna go CMC. That it's just getting started.
This one's actually tough because I mean, we're saying this season how it's been going, right? Like overall, or what are we
Yeah.
saying here?
Yeah, I know I kind of mixed up with that one because what I didn't pick Kyle Shanahan right and pick Matt LaFleur, and now I'm picking CMC and he hasn't done much, but I'm I don't want to give away one of my things later on, but we'll see
Yeah,
Oh,
why.
oh,
I,
oh.
I mean, I really like Josh Jacobs. I think this season, I mean, I don't know, Jordan Mason's been balling too, and he was,
Yeah, he's
I
another
don't know. I mean,
option.
yeah, but I'm gonna say this one's pretty even. I like Josh Jacobs a lot, and I don't know if he's always been a receiving threat, but he's turned it up this year, and like he has
Yes.
to be like top 3 in running back receiving yards. Like
Yeah,
he's been balling, so I like Josh Jacobs. I want to say they're even. Can we say that? Can we go even?
bro.
I'm
I
right there with you. Josh
I can't
Jacobs.
stand the generation that gets trophies for everything and these ties are celebrated. So no, we cannot.
Bro, there's literally ties in football though. Like it's like the only sport where there's ties,
Is there a
isn't it?
tie in
Like
the playoffs?
all right,
Nope.
Niners, bang bang Niner bang.
Thank you. All right, Jace, go ahead.
I mean, the question is this season. So I'm going to go Josh Jacobs. He's third in the league in
Okay.
rushing yards. He has 838, four rushing touchdowns. He also got his first career receiving touchdown. The workhorse. He's been the perfect addition. Yes, do I miss Aaron Jones? 100% I do. I was sad to see him go. I didn't want to see him go. But obviously, when I heard we got Josh Jacobs, I was super excited. I mean, talented back from Alabama, was a really good back in the Raiders for a while. Getting him had a down year last year, was a little risky, giving him the 4 year 80 or 4 year 48 million, but he's been a steal so far. I mean, he's third in rushing, only behind Henry and Saquon. Obviously, he's like 400 yards behind both of those guys. But hey, I mean, he's third right now, and I mean, he's just been super clutch, especially last week. A lot of check downs. He was able to get some first downs. So good to see Love finally starting to use his check downs. But yeah, I got to go Jacobs right now for this season.
Okay. All right. So the next position we got to get to is receivers. Go ahead. Either one of you guys could start with this one.
I want Jason to start.
Man, so are we going like right now? So without
dog.
Ayuk, right? So without
Top
Ayuk.
dog right now, who's available?
Gotta go Jaden Reed then. Because I will say this though, if Jawan Jennings wasn't out for those couple weeks, he might be right there with Jaden Reed or past him. But if we're going off stats, we're going off this season, we're going off who's been more valuable to their team, it's Jaden Reed. He's been a dog. He's been that number one. And I mean, he's really just the guy that Love goes to on a deep ball or on a third and long. Like that, it's like the Rodgers Adams connection. Like that's literally what I'm getting flashbacks with. Like that's his guy who he's going to. So I got to go with what he's been doing. But Jawan Jennings is right there. He's like right there.
All right. Well, then I'll put him right there. Juwan Jennings is my dog. So, bro, if you asked me 2 years ago, if I would have said JJ was the best receiver off just the 49ers, let alone other teams, I would have said, hell
Yeah.
no. He was a
Yeah.
third down master. Don't get me wrong. But what he's grown into, man, we may just have signed the check to the wrong receiver. It's hard to say Ayuk's out. Don't get me wrong. But JJ, I'll put him right there.
So this is a best receiver versus best receiver, not like
Yeah.
wide receiver core.
No. If it was core,
Okay.
49ers storm this all day. Sorry, Jace.
I still think it's close.
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay, it probably is
No.
close.
Because
I'm
with
just being a
Ayuk
little
out,
confident.
no. If Ayuk was playing right now, then yes, I would say the 49ers.
Okay. I was probably a
Yeah,
little overconfident.
I'm gonna have to go Jaden Reed as well. He's been a stud. I mean, I think he is slightly better. Juwan Jennings. Has Jaden Reed missed any games? I feel like
He missed a
One?
half. He didn't miss a game.
that's
okay.
what it was.
He
Okay.
missed the second half.
Yeah, so he's been on the field. He's been there. Juwan Jennings, yeah, he got hurt, but he missed a couple games. So, I mean, it is what it is. And Jaden Reed is that guy. I mean, you told me to draft freaking dawgs, however you say his name. And, we know what happened. But yeah, Jaden Reed is that guy. Juwan Jennings, like all you guys said, he's a baller too, and what he's grown into is really cool to see, and like no one expected it. I mean, I think Niners fans all knew he was good, but the level that he's gone to this year is like above and beyond. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Jaden Reed.
Okay. Tight end.
I did see that he's number 3 in like drop rate or something like that, drop percentage this season. So that's not the greatest, but
I mean, there's been some contested catches, but he's a short guy. He's a short guy, but
okay.
Let's get into tight ends, guys. Go ahead, Jace.
I mean, do we even need to explain, guys? It's George Kittle. Come on, guys. He's Mr. He's Mr. Packer Killer. That's the guy that I said on my pod that I'm most nervous about. It's not Brock Purdy. It's not CMC. It's not Debo. It's George Kittle because of what he does in the running game and then obviously the receiving game. So that's the guy who I'm most nervous about. That's the guy who I think is going to make the biggest impact for you guys. So it's George Kittle by a landslide. I will say, though, Tucker Kraft for the Packers, he's been the surprise for me this season. He's been good, but he's not even close to George Kittle, at least not yet. We'll see down the line.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Kittle's the best in the game this season. Like,
yeah,
I think pretty pretty unanimously, right? Like he's the best in
Yep.
the game. So yeah, you got to go with Kittle on this one.
Okay. Defense. I know we kind of already shitted on our own
Wait,
defense.
Trent, who did you pick?
Oh, Kittle over the middle. Um, all right. Defense. Okay. This year, I gotta go Green Bay. But if we're going quarters 1 through 3, I'd probably go 49ers. But fourth quarter is a big quarter, so I have Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm rocking with Green Bay too.
Yeah, no, it's Green Bay. I mean, we have the most turnovers in football forced. Obviously, McKinney's a huge reason of that. But I mean, we I will say this though, our pass rush has been a little disappointing this season. But I mean, we've been okay, but I mean, it hurts a little bit just to know we gave Rashawn Gary all that money and he just hasn't done enough. But I think he's going to hopefully get better. And obviously, we got rid of Preston Smith. But I mean, you guys statistically are ranked seventh as far as giving up the seventh least amount of yards. So I don't know if how that goes, but as far as scoring defense, I mean, you guys are kind of more toward the bottom of the middle,
It
and
was all
obviously
in the fourth
Pack,
quarter too.
yeah, and Packers are top 10 in scoring defense. So I personally couldn't care less about yards. I care about scoring the most, about how many points we give up the least amount of time. So that's kind of what I go for. But yeah, I think right now it's the Packers.
Okay. All right. Josh, you picked, right? I'm not tripping.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. For this next one, I have some rules that we have to abide by in this next one.
Okay.
Okay. So there's no talking over each other. You get 20 to 30 seconds to explain your side, and that's it. So, to my people listening, 49ers Green Bay, who has the better quarterback? Jace, you're on the clock. Go.
All right, man, you're putting me right in the throttle here. Yeah, guys, I'm going with Jordan Love. I'm going with Jordan Love because of one reason and one reason only. His first year starting, he has the youngest offense in NFL history. Everyone was projecting us to finish last in that division, and he shocked the whole NFL world. Not only got a playoff win, which a lot of elite quarterbacks like Justin Herbert hasn't even gotten that to that yet. And for him to be already in that category, blew out the Cowboys. And I'm sorry, Jordan Love, if we actually had a freaking kicker, we probably win that game last year. And of course, when he puts on a Niner uniform this season, he has a good 3 weeks for you guys. So that honestly pissed me off. But yeah, I mean, take away that missed kick, we probably win that game, or at least or in overtime, and who knows what would have happened. But yeah, I mean, for what he was able to do last season, he was the best quarterback the whole second half in NFL. I think he had like 23, or no, it was 21 passing touchdowns to one interception. I mean, that's ridiculous. And he had over, I think it was like 2,300 yards in those 9-10 weeks. So yeah, it's Jordan Love right now. As far as
Okay.
arm talent, Jordan Love.
Okay. Josh, my
Trent,
question to you is 49ers Green Bay, who has the better quarterback? Josh, you're on the clock. Go.
Trent, I really wanted you to go. I want you to go off on this one because I know, like, I just know you're about to go crazy
Oh,
on
I
this
know.
one.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Hey,
But
I'm
I,
letting
I
my
gotta
guests
say,
go first.
I gotta say Brock on this one. I mean, we've seen what he's done to the Niners offense and elevated it to another level. I mean, I haven't seen a Niners offense like this in a long time. The way that we pass the ball, the way that we pass the ball down the field, and I mean, we see what he can do. He can run around. He can do everything. He can make all the throws that you say Brock Purdy could never make. He can really make all the throws. I mean, he can make them with someone in his face. He can make it running to the left. I mean, he can really make all the throws. I think we've seen him do it. So I'm gonna go with Brock Purdy. And I mean, the head-to-head matchup in the playoffs and Jordan Love in his biggest moment throws an unnecessary interception into double coverage. Meanwhile, Brock Purdy in his biggest moment of that season drove down the field got us the dub.
I think CMC drove down the field that 45-yard running rushing touchdown. But
Okay, wait. He didn't drive down the field. He took care of the football.
okay, I'll give you that.
All right. That's my pick. I like Jordan Love. I don't love Jordan Love. I don't love Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love. He's a good
Okay,
quarterback.
all right,
But I gotta go with Brock.
All right.
here we
So,
go.
who has the better quarterback to myself? Brock
Wait, Trent,
motherfucking
Trent,
Purdy.
you're on the clock.
All
I
right,
wanted to
I'm on the
say
clock. I'm on the clock. Brock motherfucking Purdy is the better quarterback. And guys, I'm gonna throw it out there. It's not even close. Jace, I love you, man, and I appreciate you always coming on. But it is my time to shit on Jordan Love. Okay?
he's not even gonna talk about Brock Purdy. He's just gonna
What?
shit on
Well, I gotta hear his point about Brock Purdy. But go ahead and talk on Jordan Love first. But you got to back it up.
Jordan Love in the red zone and his picks is an issue. Okay? He needs to control the ball more if he's even wanting to be considered a top quarterback in the league. I like Jordan Love, just like Josh was saying. But good quarterbacks do not turn over the ball in the red zone. Okay, we've had our offensive struggles in the red zone. So I will be perfectly honest with it. Brock Purdy needs to step it up in the red zone for us as of late. It's a whole team thing. It's not just Brock Purdy because he's making throws. He's throwing multiple touchdowns in the red zone on one single drive. Let's flash back to the Rams game, I believe that was. Most quarterbacks, was it the Rams game? I don't know. He's done it multiple times. So, Brock Purdy, man, where can I start about my glorious king, Brock Purdy?
Oh, he's so
Guys,
good.
he
He's
is
so
so
good.
good.
He's so
The
good.
throws, the darts he has, he fits it in the
Oh,
tightest of windows.
oh, whoa.
He doesn't care what coverage the defense is in. He doesn't care. He'll stay in the pocket. He'll get hit by a 400-pound man coming at him full speed and still deliver a dime. His statistics, Jace, whether you believe it or not, he has played like the best quarterback coming into the league. We talk about Jordan Love and him coming in the league and taking the league by storm with the offense that wasn't supposed to be good. Hey, kudos to him. Brock Purdy had it made a little different. Wasn't his choice. Hey, but he took full advantage of it, and he's played like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Am I saying he's the best? For sure not. There's other quarterbacks in this league, but in this one right here, Brock Purdy's got it.
Hey, I got a question because you made me think about it when you said that it's not even close. Where do you, Jace, you have Jordan Love. Is it close in your eyes? Like, if you had a quarterback rankings, where's Love and where's Purdy?
They're both top 10,
Okay.
but I'd say
Is Love top?
Love is around the 8 to 9 range, and Purdy's probably 10 for me.
Oh, okay. So they're close. They're close. Yeah.
No, they're close. I'm not gonna say when Trent said that's not even close, that's cap because Jordan Love has 3 more passing touchdowns in 2 less games. So we can talk about the interception issue. For sure it's an issue. But guess what? You know who has more interceptions? Patrick Mahomes. So interceptions don't really matter when you're still getting the job done.
I
In the
knew you were going
playoffs,
to
it
bring up something
does.
about Patrick Mahomes. I cannot
But
stand Patrick Mahomes. Keep his name out of the podcast.
but anyways, yeah. So
Nah, honestly, they're close, right? But I have Brock Purdy in the top 5. I have Jordan Love in the bottom 10. So, therefore, it
Bottom
gets
10 or like
bottom 10.
the bottom of the top 10?
bottom of the top 10.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah,
I was
my
about
bad.
to
I didn't phrase that right.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you for abiding by the rules in that little thing. I know it could get heated, and it might get heated after the game, right? We might be shooting each other some texts. Might be crazy talk.
Oh, we will.
Oh,
Those are fighting words, bro.
can't
Getting it
wait.
started.
I can't wait. I'm scared,
Oh,
but I
man.
can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm
All
not
right.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared, but I can't wait.
All right, let's talk about this game. We've talked about each standpoint of each position, key positions. How does this game go in the fastest like 30 seconds you got? How do you see this game being played? Josh, I put Jason on the spot first, so Josh, go ahead.
I want to say that it's a close game. We're leading into the fourth quarter, and then we fucking lose in the fourth quarter. Like, we know what's gonna happen. Fucking Niners. Oh no, okay, for real. That's not gonna happen. The Niners, oh man, that's all that's in my head is like that, bro. Oh man. I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm excited to watch it though.
All right.
Jace.
So Packers, Niners, regular season. Packers have won the last 4 out of 5 meetings. It's not a playoff game. It's finally at Lambeau. It's not at Santa Clara. I know we suck in that stadium. And even
You
though
guys
the
sucked at
last
home in the
game,
playoffs too.
even though the last game, I was about to get to that game. Even though the last game was decided by a stupid block punt, um, it's gonna be 30s. I just looked. The high's 42. So come game time, the wind chill's gonna be in the 20s. Brock Purdy's never played in the cold. He hasn't played at Lambeau.
Iowa.
Okay, but he hasn't played at Lambeau, and the cold ain't gonna be friendly to him his first meeting at Lambeau Field. And let's not act like the Packers have been waiting for this game every step of the way because the team that always knocks them out, they don't forget that. And again, as long as there's not a block punt or there isn't a missed kick, we control the ball. We should be able to get the dub against probably the worst defense the Niners have had since that 2019 season when Robert Saleh, and in my opinion, that was the best defense the Niners have had. That
Mhm.
Mostert game, I mean, we literally couldn't do anything against that defense. Every other game since has been close, but yeah, I'd say within the last 6 years, this is by far the worst defense. And if we can just do what the Bears did to us, keep control, time of possession, long drives, tire out that defense, keep Brock Purdy off the field, I think we're going to get the job done.
So was both of you guys' score predictions? Sorry, I don't think you guys said it. If you did, my bad. I didn't
Uh,
remember it.
I'm gonna say, man,
27-24 Niners.
okay. The over-under is 47.5. We're favored to win by 3. I'm gonna say we win by 7. I'm gonna say we win by a touchdown. I'm gonna say like 27-20. Is my final prediction.
Okay. Um, you know, you brought up a point, Jace, that it's not a playoff game. You guys do handle us in the regular season as of late. But for these 49ers and the faithful, this is a playoff game. We win here, our chance of making the playoffs goes up to 50%. We lose here, it drops all the way down to 13. We're only sitting at 26 right now, so it's already horrendous. But from here on out, for the Niners, it's must wins. I think we could afford to drop one game, maybe two. Definitely none of our division opponents. Um, so for that reason, and because I'm a fucking 49er fan, and I'm gonna pick the 49ers, ride with them till fucking the wheels fall off, and they're not gonna fall off. Um, I have the score being 24-21, but Green Bay misses a field goal as time expires to send it in overtime. So that's how I have it.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
This was fun, very, very fun talking about our Niners and stuff. And your Packers, sorry. But let's get into 3 hot takes. Josh, I know you said you were lacking on them, so I'll get it started. This is the rest of the NFL. This is not just 49ers Green Bay anymore. Aaron Rodgers will be done as a New York Jet at the end of the season, if not before, and he will either be on the couch next year or playing for another team. I just have not eyeballed the team, and I don't think he sticks around in New York.
Yeah, I said it right before Josh got on off the air. I think unless they get Belichick, which is rumored, I don't see him in New York next year. As far as looking at a team where he could go to, I mean, there isn't really a name. Maybe the Browns, maybe, but I don't think he would want to do that. I mean, that would be hell for
Mm-mm.
him. Maybe you throw him on the Titans and you let him mentor Levis for a year. But I think they're going to draft a Shador Sanders or someone like that of that caliber in the draft. So I don't really see a fit for Aaron Rodgers. I don't see him pulling a Brett Favre and going from the Jets to the Vikings. They got McCarthy. They got Darnold. So yeah, I think he might, but at the same time, like he doesn't want to retire. So he could go to the Giants, actually. That I could actually see that happening. So actually, yeah, that's going to be my take. I think he either stays with the Jets or he goes to the Giants.
Okay. Josh, I mean, you don't have to have a response to my hot take, but if you do, it's your time.
You said he's gonna go to the Vikings. Sorry, I was trying to come up with the
No,
hot
no, no,
take.
no.
Giants.
I said I don't think he's going to go to the Vikings.
But you, Trent, said that he's going to the
Oh no, I
Vikings.
said either the cow. I said he's done with the Jets. He's probably gonna end up on the couch if he doesn't want to play, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think
Um,
this year's dragged the fun out of football for him. And when you're up there in age,
Yeah.
the couch probably looks more appealing.
I think I'm gonna disagree with both you guys. I think he just got Devontae. Like, I think he's probably gonna at least stick it out another year in I was gonna say New York, but you said he might go to the Giants, so he's gonna stick it out another year with the Jets. And yeah, I think maybe after next year, if it goes similar, then he'll retire. But yeah, I think he sticks with the Jets.
Okay. Jace, you got a hot take for us?
Yeah. It has to do with your division and it has to do with the Arizona Cardinals. Do
Ooh,
you
I have a
guys
hot take
see
on them too.
you
That's
guys
crazy.
see do you guys see them winning the division with them having the easiest schedule remaining in the NFL?
You know, my hot take, Jace, not to overthrow yours, but
Yeah.
is literally Cardinals cool off and do the most Cardinals thing with this easiest remaining schedule and finish dead last in the NFC
Uh,
West.
I'm gonna say no to that.
It's only because it's split between one game. So they dropped
Yeah.
two. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like that crazy of a hot take, but I'm saying that they're going to cool off and finish last in the NFC West.
Okay. Okay. I just don't see it. I mean, I'm looking at their schedule right now. They have the Panthers, they have the Patriots, two easy wins. That already puts them at 8 wins. I think 10 wins or 11 wins gets them the division title. I don't see you guys going 6-1 to end the season. I don't see the Rams going 6-1 to end the season. I don't see the Seattle going 6-1. If Cardinals can just win 5 out of their next 8 games or 7 games, which is very doable, I think they're going to win the division. I think they split with Seattle. They play them 2 out of their next 3 games. They get the Patriots and the Panthers. That's 3 wins right there. And then obviously you got the Vikings, you got the Rams, you got the Niners. Um, Obviously Rams and Niners are going to want the revenge. Vikings though, I could see them. Vikings been coming down to earth a little bit. I could see them winning that game, even though it's at Vikings. So it's going to be close. It's going to be neck and neck. I totally agree with you, Trent. Though you guys pretty much have to like win out or go like 6-1 to have a chance. Because I don't see anyone in the NFC West to get a wild card spot. So it's going to have to be that division title. So that's just what I think it's going to come down to.
Josh, did you come up with a hot take or you want Jace to go again?
Oh no, I got one.
All
All
right.
right.
I think, I mean, I don't know how hot it is to be honest, because I mean, this team's kind of hot, but I kind of want to say that the Broncos don't lose another game, and I don't know if that'll exactly win them the division because of Chiefs are 9-1, but I don't think they lose another game. I think they make the playoffs. The
Go,
last
go
two
ahead.
games, the last two games are a stretch because they're playing Cincinnati, who's like I've been seeing it said they're the scariest 4-7 team the league's seen. But and then you got the Chiefs the last week, but who knows? I know it's a division game, so maybe their starters in, but I think they lock up that one seed and they might not have their starters in, so Broncos might not lose another game.
Ooh, that's that's a hot take considering their remaining schedule.
Mhm.
Um, because I'm high on the Chargers right now, and I could see that them being that push for the AFC West. I don't know if either of them
Yeah,
catch the Chiefs, but I think the Chargers have a better shot
yeah.
than the Broncos.
That's
Just
kind of.
stole my next hot take.
Sorry,
I
Jace.
did.
It
Oh, he
was
did.
Chargers. It was
Oh,
Chargers dethroning the Chiefs. I'm really high on the Chargers. I loved what I saw last week. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you almost blew a 27-6 lead. You almost pulled the Jaguars in the playoffs from a couple years ago. But you were able to get some stops. Obviously, 2 missed field goals by McPherson helps. And then obviously you drive down with Dobbins to win the game. But I love that they're finally letting Justin Herbert throw the ball 30 times a game. Lad McConkey's a dog. He's a good rookie. Quentin Johnson's having a better sophomore season. So they got some weapons. Not the greatest of weapons, but they're getting the job done. J.K. Dobbins has been the perfect replacement from Eckler. Obviously, Gus Edwards just came back from injury, so there's some depth there. And then their O line is one of the top in all the NFL. I mean, you got obviously your boy there, Trent and Joe Alt, Mr. Notre Dame himself over there. You got Slater. You got some guys there on that line. So it's given Herbert protection. He's having time, and that's why they've been successful of late.
Yeah, they're they're nice. They're nice. I'm just gonna put it like that. Um, I fired off 2 hot takes. Jace, you fired off 2 or 3. Josh, you fired off 1. Does anyone got one that's like crazy you want to get off your chest? Or are you guys ready to look ahead to week 12 of the NFL for the rest of these teams besides our 49ers Green Bay team?
I mean, I don't know if it's a hot take. I'm just going to say this right now. Going to be the most over, not
Jace, hold up.
position than
Jace, hold up. It was completely cutting out for me, so I know the recording probably looks shit right there. I don't know if Josh heard you, but go ahead. It looks like it's a little more stable.
good.
Yeah, good.
Okay. I just said one more hot take or not hot take. Sauce Gardner not only might be the most overrated corner at his position in football, but one of the most overrated in the whole NFL. I I think he's just been getting cooked. I think he's totally overrated. Took a huge step back from last season. And that Jets defense is supposed to be the strength. They've been nothing of that. So you can't blame everything on Aaron Rodgers, especially last week. Like they scored 27 points. You give up 28 to Anthony Richardson, who is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Inexcusable. And then you give up 30 plus to the Cardinals and you lose to the Broncos. And it's just been a disaster. And you give up 26 to the Patriots. So, yeah, I think Sauce Gardner is one of the most overrated players in the NFL.
I
yeah,
agree.
I agree with that. Yeah, I haven't seen too much. Like me personally, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it myself. Him getting burnt, but I've seen him getting trucked and missing tackles, and yeah, he's definitely took a step back this season. And yeah, I'm agree with you on that one.
That was a
I
good one
think,
to end it. Josh,
yeah.
you got one more?
Um, no, I don't.
All right.
I was trying to
I'll,
find one, but I don't.
I'll end it with this. The 49ers fire our defense coordinator before season ends. But it's either going to be not going to be like a true fire. It's going to be like a demotion. And then our defensive line coach is going to take over. And then it's going to ignite a fire in our defense. Whether we win this next game or not, I think the change probably happens pretty damn soon, within the next 2 weeks. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be like a full firing, like get out of the building, but it's going to be a demotion and just kind of in-house bring up someone else. That's a hot take. Um,
So
let's look
you,
ahead.
so
What's up?
who would you say is going to replace him? Like you're saying someone from the Niners in-house? Like they're not
Yeah,
gonna.
our defensive line coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Krusharek
I'm
or
just
whatever,
thinking.
however you say his name. Cross.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, hey, let's just try to switch some things up, get a little bit of a spark going, and he takes over as the defense coordinator. Doesn't really change our scheme probably or anything, but just maybe a couple different calls at the end of the game, fourth quarter type deal. Instead of not sending anyone, only a 4-man rush, we you know, we send the house type deal. But let's cover one game each for the rest of the NFL that we want to see this week. And then we'll wrap it up from there. My game of the week. Sorry if I steal any of your guys. It's probably gonna be stolen, but Ravens Chargers. That
Yep.
game, it's gonna be electric. I think personally, my dog from the week is Justin Herbert, and we're high on the Chargers. We just said that they get a win against Baltimore, and the Ravens drop two straight. Justin Herbert throws for 3 touchdowns. That's my kind of take on that game.
All right. That was my game, obviously. So the other game I like is Eagles Rams. I think that's going to be a very good Sunday night football game. I mean, Eagles are a top 5 team right now in football. Like they're 8-2, they're hot. They've won 6 straight. Saquon Barkley, obviously, you take away Henry, he's running away with Offensive Player of the Year. So I mean, he's been the workhorse, he's been the guy, and then Rams, obviously, Stafford coming off a 4-touchdown game. Nakua and Cup are healthy, they're back, and when those guys are playing at the same time with Kyron Williams back there, it's a top 5 offense. So it's tough to stop, and it's going to be a good game. As far as my dog of the week, though, I'm gonna do a different matchup, and my dog of the week is gonna be Brian Robinson Jr. of the Commanders. They play the Cowboys. They're last against the run. I think Brian Robinson Jr. has a huge game. I think Jaden Daniels has a good game as well, but I think Brian Robinson Jr. finds the end zone twice for sure, and I think he finishes well over 100 yards rushing.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, Jace. Me and Josh will be perfectly a-okay with that because we both have him in fantasy. So I'm cool with
Me
that.
too. Me too.
Josh,
Me
what's your
too.
game and what's your dog?
I mean, I honestly I really like the two games you picked, and of course the Niners Green Bay game is like that's another really good one. The stakes in that are high, but I'm gonna go with Minnesota Chicago. I think that's a good one. We saw the Vikings kind of come back down to earth, but they're back on a 3-game winning streak, and they're only 8-2. So I mean, they're still riding high, and they're a good team. Their defense is legit, and I think Chicago is also a good team. They're obviously their O line struggles a lot, and Caleb is young, but he looked good last week. He was distributing the ball well. I like everyone had like 4 or 5 catches. There was like 5 or 6 guys with like 4 or 5 catches and over 50 yards or around 40 yards. So I like that game. I'm gonna go with Minnesota in this one. I think they're gonna win and continue that win streak, but I think Chicago's gonna make it interesting.
Okay,
Do I need to
I
pick a
like that.
dog of the week too right now?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, my dog of the week. I like Brian Robinson Jr. I like all that. Uh, I'm gonna go with Bo Nix. Stick with the Denver
Ooh.
train. Big
Okay.
Okay.
game, divisional game. He had what 4 touchdowns this past weekend.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna have another big game, and it's gonna be fun to watch him grow because all these quarterbacks this season, these rookie quarterbacks have been playing pretty well. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my brother about how the Jordan Love thing, how they sat him and it worked out, and how more teams need to do that. But then you think about it, all these rookie quarterbacks getting thrown into the fire right away, and I mean they're all kind of balling. Some of them it took a little while to figure out, but they're all doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like Bo Nix for my dog of the week. I think
Okay.
another three plus touchdowns and no interceptions.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Before we head out, guys,
Wait,
I
who was your
skipped
dog
over
of the week? I didn't hear yours.
Justin Herbert.
Oh, Justin Herbert.
Came
Oh,
from my
okay.
game too.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Before we head out though, I forgot one thing, and it's fine ending it with the Green Bay 49ers talk real quick, because that's what we're here for. Who's your guys' dog in that game?
Ooh. You guys go first.
CMC, he finds the end zone 3 times, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. Boom, there.
Wow. Wow.
And I said 24-21, right? So that's 21 points, a field goal by Moody. He actually
So he's
makes it. It
doing
might take
everything.
4 tries, but there's your points.
No Kittle. Okay. Interesting. He always gets a touchdown against us. All
Yeah,
right.
I was gonna go with Kittle over here. I think he's gonna have 2 touchdowns in his game back. I think he likes to. We have a few players that like to go off in these big games, like Debo likes to go off in the big games a lot of times, and I think Kittle likes to go off against the Packers and the Cowboys and teams like that. So yeah, I'm going Kittle, my dog of the week. Big game for him. 2+
Okay.
tutties
All
and
right,
some
guys.
pancakes.
All
A whole
right,
lot of
Jace, your dog
pancakes.
could be from the 49ers too. I'm just throwing it out there.
No, definitely not, because I have the Packers winning. Could go a defensive player, but I'm gonna go with a guy who went off last week, and I think he repeats that. And that guy's Christian Watson. I'm gonna go with Christian Watson in this game. And he's a
Nice.
guy that's always forgotten in this wide receiving core. He's 6'5", he runs a 4.3, very talented. And we have Dobbs, we have Reed. I feel like you guys are gonna put your two top guys on them, and we could just run Watson in the slot, and he's our fastest receiver. And I think it could be very dangerous. So I'm going to go Christian Watson. He's coming off a 150-yard game, the best this season. I think he builds off that. He gets in the end zone. He has 7, 8 catches, over 100 yards, and he gets a touchdown.
Okay. I respect that. But
Yeah.
we got Chardavius Ward back. So we
Oh, I
have
was
more
gonna
than
say.
two guys. We'll cover
Well,
him.
no.
I'm just
That's who I was saying.
Ooh.
Lenore and Ward. That's it. They're going
Nah,
to be on
nah.
Dobbs and Reed. Who's
But I'm gonna
guarding
tell you,
Watson?
I'm gonna tell you this. Renardo Green, that
Oh
boy.
my gosh.
No. He's not gonna be guarding Watson. He's gonna be on the outside holding it down. And Lenore's gonna be I think Lenore is probably moving back to inside.
yeah, I
I
think
think
he is too.
I think Renardo Green's stepped up big time. Like he's like the highest graded rookie defender, I want to say. And I mean, he's been locking shit down this whole
No,
season.
he's been a dog. He's right there with Cooper DeJean. He's been up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that. And I think Lenore might move back inside, and he might have to hold it down because our safeties are struggling right now. Either
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I don't know. Hufunga might be done for the season.
Wait,
He might be
what
done as a
happened?
Niner.
Yeah,
What happened?
his wrist, right? He's
Yeah, his
fractured his
wrist.
wrist.
I didn't even know that.
He's having setbacks in his recovery. So
Jeez.
Yeah,
Is Greenlaw back? Please don't tell me he's back.
no, his practice
Okay.
window is gonna get opened after this week. And then
Okay.
they said they're gonna use most of it before putting him in the game. So
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah. I checked that before we started this
I
because I
don't
was
want
gonna put
that.
on
I don't
my
want that
Greenlaw shirt.
I don't want that 2 interception guy playing in this game. Just get him out of
Oh,
there. Get him out of there.
all right, guys. I want to say thank you so much for coming on. I know we had a couple more things to talk about, but I think this episode is good where it's at. So, Jace from Up Your Score podcast, thank you so much for coming on. Josh, it's always a pleasure having you guys. To all our listeners, thank you. Deuces.
deuces. I feel like